Are you a recruiting agency and you are just wondering when is the right time to scale? Wonder no longer, because you need to ask yourself these 5 questions. See you there? Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. And if you have not seen this channel before, it's all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter. So let's get to it. So you have an agency, yay, first win. You're starting, I would assume, if you're thinking about scaling, that means you're making some money. Extra yay. Okay, so you need to ask yourself these 5 questions before even remotely going down this road. Now, as I begin, you might think, Brianna, you've had employees for a long time. Why are you being negative? I am not about to be negative. I'm just keeping it real, okay? Because having employees takes a lot out of you as a human being. It will bring in different stress, and you will naturally feel, even if you don't have kids, you will feel like they are your kids, and it's no disrespect to any employee. It's just you have to care for them. You have to nurture them. You have to train them. You have to give your blood, sweat, and tears to them. So that's why I relate that to kids, because, well, that's what I do for Diego and Lima. You're welcome. All right. First and foremost, how much revenue have you closed this year? You would think, well, obviously I'm doing really well because I'm thinking about scaling. More often than not, I hear this question from people that have not yet made a lot of money in this. If you haven't, I would say, made at least $200,000 in your own agency, I would not even remotely think about hiring. It's just me, okay? Unless you have a big payroll and you're fine. But I would say if you're not at least closing $200,000 a year yourself, then you're not yet good at this job enough to warrant having employees. Unless you are going to outsource your training to me via Thriversity. But seriously, because it takes a lot out of you. So we'll get into that later on. And you can't just assume that recruiters are trained, because there's not a lot of great training programs out there. And even if they've been a recruiter before, you could probably bet that they also weren't trained there. We're just this is an industry that you're just thrown in to figure it out, and you hope you swim. Okay. So thinking about scaling your industry, think about this. Could you do more if you had another person? So now you have to reflect for a second. Are you better at Biz Dev, so getting clients and keeping them? Or are you better at candidates and placing them and understanding how to do both? So naturally, there's always one portion of the business you're going to be better at. So you could sit there and tell me, I'm great at both, but there's always one that perhaps you even prefer a little bit more than the other one. So for example, I have always enjoyed sourcing candidates and placing them more than I have enjoyed doing biz stuff. Or even more than I've even enjoyed talking to clients. Like, I don't know, I just have really liked the relationship building with candidates. So could you have done more? So now reflect. Here, I made X amount. Let's say you've made 300,000, which means activating scale, right? Could you have pushed yourself to do more? Like, was that your limit based off of time, based off of the clients you had? Like, what was the limit? Why do you feel like you tapped out at 300? So with this other person, could you have said, hey, I'm going to rock clients and you are going to rock candidates? Because that's another thing that you have to think about. Are you going to split duties, or are you guys going to both try to do both things? At first, I really highly suggest that you decide what route, like if it's just one other person, decide what route that person's going to go versus what you're going to do. Just because there needs to be organization there. I think a lot of people think that naturally when you hire, that is really exciting because you can start having them do this and you can do that and you can do this. And really, you still have to have a plan that's even more precise than when you were by yourself. So let's just say, here we go. We're doing great. We're still scaling. We got these 2 questions answered correctly. Do you have a diverse client list? Okay, here's what I mean by that. So I know I talk about making sure that you have a niche. Having a niche is very strong. What I don't suggest, though, is being so niche that if one particular industry crumbles, your business crumbles. So for example, let's think about, I don't know, let's bring up COVID, but let's say all of your clients were in the entertainment or hospitality industry. Well, no more concerts means no more biz for you. So you don't want an industry to crumble your business in one day. So if you want to scale and you're doing really well, then you have to take a look at your client list and make sure they're in at least 2 other industries. I think that's what's really, 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 really crucial. Another one. So let's say you've got these 3 things that we're talking about, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to scale. Okay. Now let's ask yourself this question. Are you prepared to see a loss in revenue for the first 3 to 6 months of hiring this person? Can you sleep at night? Are you going to be in lots of doubt and be like, I shouldn't have hired this person. This person's taking too much time. I thought I interviewed really well. I thought this person was going to be great. They overpromised me. So then on the flip side, are you okay making sure that you are dedicating time to training them and keeping a positive mindset? So here's the thing. What typically happens when there's a loss of revenue, different recruiters have different resiliency levels. So for me, I can pretty much go woof, by the seat of my pants. I have a pretty high meter for, I think it's, not fear, but risk. I can get pretty high on the risk-o-meter. Not everybody can. So are you that person? Are you fine with, hey, I know I'm going to risk this for 3 to 6 months. I know I'm not going to see more revenue. If I do, great. But I'm not going to stress until day, 6 months times 30, day 181. Sorry, not great at math. But day 181 is the day I'm allowed to freak out. So that's in my mind, how long I would give myself. But maybe you on the flip side is look, I'm not super, super risky. I have bills to pay. I have a certain amount of money I have to make. I don't have enough saved. So maybe your meter is going to go off at day 28. So that's not giving yourself or your employee enough time to get ramped up. So another thought. So here we are at 4. You're still I'm still going to scale. I'm still really ready. Okay, I have enough money in the bank. I feel really strongly about this. One more little question for you. Have you tried other ways to build revenue? For example, have you tried to milk your clients for a little more money? And I mean that in the best way possible, but be more strategic, offer them more services. So let's say you have this really great client, you have a really great relationship, you're constantly placing people with them, they like your point of view, they take your advice. What if you started charging them for your advice? What if you started charging them for your coaching? Think about those things. What if you started charging them to build out their applicant tracking system? There's so many different ways that you could build revenue with one client, and recruiting's not the only one. Once you're trusted, which takes a while, the trust of the rapport takes a while, but once you are trusted with them, I would imagine there's other things that you could help them with. So that's one thought process. Another thought process is, are you talking with any other recruiting agencies? Have you teamed up? So I have quite a few partners that if I have too many roles, it's look, I either hire more, which means, again, I'm down a little bit for training and all of those onboarding purposes. Or do I want to do splits with some of the trusted recruiting agency owners that I work with? So I suggest you network first. You try different ways to build revenue. And if you're still look, my business is strong. I have so many recs I don't even know what to do with. I'm really efficient. I have things set up properly. I know how I'm going to train. My client list is diverse. I'm dedicated and my risk-o-meter is strong. I can get past 90 to 180 days, no problem. And I've tried different other ways to build revenue. I'm still busy. It's time to scale. So yay, go scale, go have fun. And you know what? This might contradict myself for a second. I'm going to tell you, don't overthink it. But you do have to answer those 5 questions at the very least, and then just go for it and have a good time. And here's the thing. It's okay if you regret it, but at least give yourself enough chance to see things through. That goes with anything. It goes with the different toolings. It goes with different messaging. It goes with different sequences. You still have to it goes with marketing. I'm talking to myself right now. You have to give yourself time to see solutions through, because you can't just pull the cord too soon, because you'll always ask what if I tried more? What if I tried longer? Okay, so have fun. And here's what I really, really want. I want you to tell me what you're doing. Are you ready to scale? What's going on? Put those in the comments below. Let's have conversations. And thanks so much for always being here every Thursday at noon. Thanks so much to listening to the Talent Takeover Unfiltered. Love it. Having a great time. See you next Thursday. You know you want to check out the program. Ready? Ready.